My name is John Swedenborg, and I will be going into depth on an examination of the Hindu festival called Holi. It also has a wide variety of other names, including the Festival of Color, the Feast of Love, and the Spring Festival. Its forms of celebration ranges in differences across the world, but finds its core in the events of Holika Dahan, Dhuledi, and paying homage to deities. Holi, other than its religious roots, also acts as a celebration for the end of winter, and rejoices in the hope for the upcoming harvest in the summer and spring seasons. At its religious core, the festival essentially celebrates the triumph of good over evil, the power of truth and faith, and the god Krishna. Krishna is the 8th avatar of Vishnu, and one of the 3 great supreme gods forming the Hindu triumvirate. Krishna is widely known for his trickster personality, and this leads to the festival being full of kids playing tricks on adults and the use of water balloons and water guns. He is also the reason that colors are used as a symbol of love, as I will discuss later. The festival occurs in March and varies with the date because it always falls on the day of a full moon. The timing of the celebration is especially important in Hindu festivals, because on certain days, rituals are more likely to connect with specific gods, and there is a higher chance of earning their grace and protection. In this way, festivals serve as a way to pay respect to deities and foster a meaningful relationship that act as an avenue towards moksha, or liberation for the continual cycle of rebirth. Hindu festivals occur throughout the year, with the amounts of many gods and deities each deserving a day of individual worship. The Holi festival brings together people, and also Vaishnavas, or devotees of Vishnu, that have chosen Vishnu as their path to salvation. They dedicate prayers and study extensively texts about Vishnu, believing that all gods originate from Vishnu and solely worship him. The festival begins with Holika Dahan, on the night before the actual Holi festival. It starts after sundown, with the lighting of large bonfires and dancing to honor the success of good versus evil, and Krishna's encounter with the demon Holika. The origin of the event begins with Holika's demon brother named Hiranyakashipu, a powerful king that wanted to rule the world and demanded that all people solely worship him, and in doing so reject the Hindu gods. Unfortunately for the king, his own son Prahlad was deeply devoted and had immense faith in the god Krishna. The demon king tried over and over again to get his son to denounce the god, but all his plans failed. Finally, at his breaking point, he devised a plan. He would have his sister Holi take his son to the fire to scare him into renouncing his faith. He thought the plan would work because Holi received a blessing that protected her from fire. He proposed the plan to Holi and she agreed. She grabbed his son and carried him into the fire. As the flames consumed them both, Prahlad remained faithful to his god, and in the face of death, Krishna granted him his grace and protected him from the fire. However, for Holi, her blessing only worked if she had entered a fire by herself, and the fire burned her alive and served as punishment for her work for the demons. The lighting of the bonfire for Holika Dahan therefore celebrates the need for deep faith in the gods, the glory of Krishna, and the defeat of evil forces. Central to this tradition, the fire's ashes are collected and seen as prasad, or leftovers from a worship ritual to divinity, that contain a hint of God's blessing and is seen as having healing properties. The ashes are the only form of prasad in the entire festival. They are rubbed on the limbs to cleanse the soul. The following day, and the main day of the festivals, is called Dhuledi, and is a giant festival involving colors to bring joy and happiness to its communities. People flock to the streets to dance, sing, eat, and throw colors on each other. For the day, gender and caste rules are forgotten, so that everyone can join together in celebration. The festival's single purpose is for the people to simply enjoy life. As part of its tradition, it also involves forgiveness of enemies, and at its essence is about bringing people together as one and new beginnings coinciding with the new season. The use of colors in the festival originates in the love story of Krishna and Radha. As a child, Krishna fell in love with Radha, but always complained to his mother about her skin tone being different from his. She had beautiful fair skin, and he had blue. He felt unlovable and complained constantly to his mother, until one day she suggested that he rub colored powder on Radha's face to match his. Appealing to his playful nature, Krishna enjoyed the idea, and found Radha the next day. He surprised her and rubbed powder into her face. Now, the practice of using colors to decorate others is found in the story and is seen as an act of showing love and affection. The use of colors thus brings people together. Each color has meaning and significance. The primary colors used are red, representing love, yellow representing health, green, new beginnings, orange, forgiveness, and blue reflects Krishna's skin color and his power. Blue color in Hinduism is seen as a symbol for the sea and sky, which are both endless, and represent the god's unlimited power and infinite nature. The colors are made from gulal, a powdered substance derived from plants that are rich in color and highly saturated. These are then mixed with a beer, small crystals that help add shine. The colors are stored in giant sacks throughout the cities. The powders can be stored in tubes called prakaras that act as water guns, water balloons to be thrown at people, or merely picked up and tossed with one's hand. In addition to the activities, an important part of the festival involves the participants drinking bhang, a drink derived from cannabis. This allows the people to enjoy the festival and feel a deep connection to the divine. It has been an essential drink in many festivals dating back for thousands of years to 2000 BC. However, it is limited only to use in the daytime. After the day of activities, the night is dedicated to family and friends. Loved ones gather and exchange presents using in the form of sweets such as ujas, a fried pastry made of flour that is stuffed with nuts and condensed milk, and rice kheer, a type of rice pudding that is a staple food for most Hindu celebrations. I will now be demonstrating how to make rice kheer. Hello guys, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make rice kheer, and so here are the ingredients. We have a half cup of rice, so that's going to equivalent to about 90 grams. So we're going to add rice and then we're going to add water to it. So we're going to do 90 grams. Yep. So 90 grams of rice, this equates to about a half cup of rice. And then we're going to add in 2 cups. So we're going to quadruple the amount of water to rice. So you can do this with any ratio. It doesn't matter. So since we did 90 of the other one, we're going to end up doing 360 of the water. And so after we put in the water, we're going to put this into the microwave for 10 minutes. We're going to stir every 2 minutes so we get the consistency that we like. And then afterwards, we are going to drain the excess water, and then we're going to add in the milk and the sugar. That'll give it the really good dessert texture. And so I'm using my resources of a freshman dorm right now, so I'm going to try the best that I can. So I'm going to do 10 minutes, and then we're going to wait for this to cook, and I'm going to stir it every 2 minutes, and I'll get back to you guys. So the rice is now done cooking, so I'm going to take it out and drain the excess water so we can add in the other ingredients. Okay, so now we have the rice drained, and so what we're going to be first adding is milk. So it's going to be 1 cup, which comes out to about 240 milliliters. And so milk is an important part of this dish because cows are seen as sacred in Hinduism, and milk is a part of life and beginning as babies are fed, and also a part of rituals in death. And rice kheer is a famous dish that's pretty prominent in a lot of cultures across the world, and it comes in a lot of different forms. And so it's usually flavored with milk, and then it's sweet, so then they'll add in other things such as cinnamon, sugar, and then garnished with nuts. So now that we've added in the milk, we are going to stir it. And so now we're going to add in the sugar to give it the flavor that we're looking for. So each of these packets is about 2 teaspoons, so we're going to add 1. And then we're going to stir, pop it back in the microwave for another 8 minutes, making sure to stir it in between every 2 minutes to make sure it gets that consistency. And after we do this, we're going to garnish it with our nuts, and we're going to garnish it with our cinnamon. And then the dish is about complete at that point. So we'll put this in for 8. Set it at every 2. And I will get back to you once it's done cooking. So the 8 minutes of cooking are over, so the bowl's gonna be extra hot. So I'm gonna use it to get it out. And so this is the consistency that we're working with. So it's nice, it's light, it's fluffy. And so now we're gonna be adding cinnamon. So this is just for seasoning, so this is for taste. Cardamom powder is also used, but I really only have access to cinnamon, so we're gonna be using this. Allspice can also be used because they all have the same kind of nutty flavor. And so we're going to mix this in. We're going to give it a couple minutes to settle down. So as you give it more time, the rice will actually soak up the milk again, and so it'll become harder in texture, and we'll lose a lot of this extra moisture. And then afterwards, we're going to top it with some nuts, and so I've chosen almonds. And so we'll give this a couple minutes, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so now that we've given it a couple minutes for the rice to soak back up the milk, you're going to notice that it has a little bit of heartier texture, comes across more like oats, has a little more of a thicker consistency. And so now we're going to garnish it with almonds. So any type of nut is usually used, so it could be pistachios, tree nuts, I chose almonds for this, and I'm also going to top it with a little bit of cinnamon. And so rice kheer is a dessert that is used in practically all Hindu festivals, and it utilizes one of the most common staple foods in India, which is rice as a grain. And so this dessert is actually really sweet. It's really nice. I would highly recommend if anyone ever wants a snack or wants to try to cook this. It's actually really simple, and it uses really common ingredients, and I would highly recommend it. And so thank you for joining me in cooking rice kheer. Now I'm going to enjoy this, and I'll let you guys get back to the video. In conclusion, festivals are an important part of Hinduism. They allow individuals to connect to divinity through displaying their submission and offering rituals as an act of devotion to win their favor. Festivals capitalize on the gods' senses by using color, music, and foods to please their senses of sight, sound, and taste. By appealing to the gods, people hope to establish a deep spiritual connection that can help teach them about samsara, the truth that rebirth is directed by karma, and that the world is merely an illusion. In joining communion with the deity, the connection can hopefully earn the follower good karma, to eventually be released from the cycle of rebirth. The connection that can be formed in Hindu festivals is a path to reaching liberation known as moksha, and is the ultimate goal of the Hindu religion. By providing the follower with both knowledge and karma, they can hopefully reach union with the ultimate reality of the universe. Festivals serve as a unique avenue to link with the Hindu gods and offer a joyful and spectacular approach to defeating humanity's encounter with suffering. I find beauty in the festival's ability to transcend religious meaning and act as something that not just brings family and friends together, but entire communities for the sake of fun and connection. It has roots in social, religious, and cultural contexts that adds to its meaningful display of celebration. It elevates beyond social rules and hierarchies to achieve something greater, joy in worship of gods through communion with each other. I am particularly fond of Holi, as it acts as a catalyst for both the deeper connection with the divine and with other people. It also has fascinating origin stories. I learned that using colors and pranks can be used as a way to practice religious devotion. Holi has particular uniqueness in its ability to unite people. The festival shows the power that religions have in communities across the globe. After learning about the practices, rituals, and beliefs that go into the Holi festival, I think that the festival accomplishes its goal of properly worshiping the gods. The festival serves as a real-life manifestation of receiving the gods' graces. Everyone has fun, everyone experiences love, and also gains friendships. Thank you for joining me on my study of the Hindu festival called Holi.